Does it ever feel like everyone's got more going than you do?
Oops.
That everyone is smart?
So you're Al Myers' kid.
Yes, I am.
You look pretty stupid to me.
Thank you.
You say the best skier in town just ran off with your girlfriend? Even your younger brother does better than you do? And that nobody even cares?
Beth broke up with me.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, you might be right. But remember one thing.
I haven't even been to New York City.
Nobody was ever better off dead.
The truth is, I could outski you any day of the week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you want a race? I'll take you on any day, sucker.
Go that way, really fast. If something gets in your way, turn.
All you need is guts.
All right! Now turn!
I'm gonna race, I'm gonna lose, and I'm gonna die, in that order.
Go!
And you'll never doubt yourself again.
He's skiing on one ski!
Better off dead.
And that's a real shame when folks be throwing away a perfectly good white boy like that.
An abnormal look at a normal teenager.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Fine Movies, Fine Spirits. Today we hope to bring you inspiring words from three men who know how to podcast.
Yes, folks, today we are here talking about the 1985 cult comic classic, Better Off Dead. And while we're talking, we're also drinking. Me, I'm enjoying this killer eggnog my brother makes with lighter fluid, but I'm not drinking alone. No. I'm here with my usual bodacious troopers. First up is a man who asks what time we're doing the podcast every time we record, even though it's always the same time. He's no dummy. My friend David, how are you doing today, little camper?
I'm doing fantastic, Mikey. I'm really excited to get this movie underway.
I'm excited for you.
Good old-fashioned hard cider. Ooh,
very good. It took you long enough to think of what you'd put in the cup, I guess. Yeah. Hard cider you decided on? Okay.
That mug is empty.
No, it's not.
That mug is cake. Next up is a man who, well, I podcast, he podcast, we podcast. Maybe we can get together and be a podcasting team. Christopher, how are you doing this evening, and what are you drinking, sir?
I am doing well, Michael. I am drinking this IPA called Life, which is I hold valuable, unlike Lane, caring about his own life.
It's true. Better Off Dead, another second 1985 movie in a row. This one is, I was going to say not as beloved as the last one, but it is its own. It's a cult film, wouldn't you think?
100%.
I would say it's a cult.
And what do you say is not beloved?
I'm saying we're going. I'm
as Back to the Future. I would probably say, yeah. I don't know.
It's its own thing, though.
So this is Dave. Dave, this is your time to cook. You know, this is. I figured after mailing it in for 7, not even knowing what it was, and then after not even watching Back to the Future, for some unknown reason, I decided to reward you with your choice in movies, and
failing up.
And we have Better Off Dead.
Okay, hold on, because you have been holding your thoughts on this movie for quite some time. And look, I've watched this movie probably almost as much as I've watched Jaws in my
that's crazy.
adolescence. In my adolescence, not so much recently, although I have rewatched multiple times over the last few years. I think it's hysterical. However, I have not got your opinion on this movie yet, and I'm dying to hear.
I was playing it close to the vest. So before I gave the green light, I did want to watch it, and watched it 2 more times subsequently, and it is pretty great. It's so unique. You know, it's like you think it's like an 80s teen comedy, and it's just so different. You know, it's just very well written. Just the million other teen comedies, it's nothing like any of those, right? With the animation and the video it's basically like a claymation video.
Yep, with the claymation.
Everybody wants them
with the
That's out of
hamburgers.
nowhere.
with a great song.
It's really just a filler in the movie, but yes, really.
It's just you
Yes,
could tell
it is.
you could tell the director was an animator before.
Yes, and the humor is great with the Cosell. You know,
It's
Mikey will give us all the stats, and then we'll go through it. But
Yeah.
obviously everybody knows the paper boy, and his brother's storyline is hilarious.
The Badger.
And and his
Badger
and
who
I
has
call
zero
him Booger.
lines.
What's his name?
Charles DeMar,
Okay.
Curtis Armstrong.
Charles DeMar. Yep, Curtis Armstrong is great in this. I think it might be his best role, even. Like he's just
I would agree.
he's so funny. He's so weird. I love that he laughs at the Stalin's joke, and he's just always huffing,
Yeah,
little like Charlie, huffing things, and very entertaining, very unique, different.
And
No,
I read
comedy.
a review from 1985 that I sent you guys, and the guy said it's like a live action cartoon kind of, and I get like it's just silly, but there's
Yes.
fun
You
in it
know,
too.
watching this as a kid, like I remember vividly watching this with my family. I think might have been like one of
It's
the
like-
family others, but I remember watching with everyone going, "Wow, this movie's hilarious," and then just put it on repeat forever.
It was like an HBO movie. It was just,
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed so Cusack goes on a little string of I don't know how much time in between this and One Crazy Summer and the Sure Thing.
no
My
time.
buddy Sean would like us to do One Crazy Summer. That's a favorite of his, but he also enjoys this one. But yeah, Cusack's great.
Yeah, so let me go through the info real quick. As I said,
Do it.
1985, written and directed by Savage Steve Holland, starring John Cusack, David Ogden Stiers, Kim Darby, Diane Franklin, Dan Schneider, who would probably welcome being mentioned about something else recently. You know, he's actually being talked about
Why?
his
What's he
acting.
done?
He's actually pretty fantastic in this movie. If you just watch him for moments, he's great. I hate to say that. Amanda Weiss, Aaron Dozier as Roy Stalin, who this is the last thing he ever did, and Curtis Armstrong as the great
Yeah, I have-
Charles DeMar.
Yeah, I have issues with that casting, but yeah, go ahead. Give your stats.
Rotten Tomato score 77% critics rating, which I have to admit I thought would be a lot lower. I thought it'd be one of those things where the audience score was huge
Right.
and the reviews. It seemed like there were only 26 reviews, and a lot of them were in the recent last 20 years. So it's probably people revisiting it. It's
Yep.
not on the AFI American greatest American films list. It was not nominated for any awards in anything anywhere, and it has a box office of it only had a budget of 3 million, a box office of 10 million, so a marginal hit and a huge home video and
Yeah,
cable.
cult.
Yep.
Right.
And
After.
What's the audience score, Mike?
what's that?
What's the audience score?
The audience score is 87%.
Hmm.
So Chris, you mentioned One Crazy Summer. I'm almost positive they were filming One Crazy Summer when this premiered, because the infamous story is that John Cusack went to the premiere for this while they were shooting One Crazy
right.
Summer, stormed out, thought this was going to ruin his career, thought he was sold the bill of goods, thought that he just completely shut
He
down
hates
he hated
He's
it.
like, this isn't a real movie.
Right.
He's actually recently come to grips with this movie and actually enjoyed the results much later on, but he did not love this movie.
And I read Curtis Armstrong's biography, and he talked about how after the fact, like, John Cusack was fine to work with, but he was just a dick to the director for One Crazy Summer while they were doing that. Like
Oh, really?
he was not into it, which was a shame.
So
because
that was the same director?
Same
did you say?
director. One Crazy Summer is, you could see the same. They bring in the animation, a lot of the same. It's just the same kind of sense. It's basically, I call it like the sequel. And then he did a third movie, How I Got Into College, which I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing, but it's still the same similar type kind of, silly.
Did he do anything after these movies besides those three?
He did animation, so we went back into animation. There was a show he had called Eek the Cat that was kind of a cult classic, used to be on Fox. That you look at the animation in that, it's very similar to his stuff you see in the Cute and Fuzzy Bunnies in One Crazy Summer, or even the animation in this. He's done other things, but nothing like close to this.
So,
okay,
Mikey, obviously you didn't see it. This wasn't rated R. There's nothing rated R in this, right? So you maybe you were able to see it when it was at Flicks.
Oh yeah, I definitely was able to see it. I'm sure we rented it. I mean, the dirtiest thing is when Badger reads a book how to pick up trashy women, but it works. The book works. I mean, Badger does not say one line in the whole movie. No words. I
love Lane's line to the ladies of the night. Did you say Happy New Year or something?
That's right. Yes. Is this a Christmas movie? I mean,
I have that written down. Is this? I was going to ask you. This is not on your list of top Christmas movies.
I didn't even really think about it.
Okay, how many quotable lines are in this movie though that you?
We were afraid you were just going to go off and quote movies. Oh,
but he's a pro. He's a pro. He's just not going to just say quotes and giggle.
Okay, I'm not. Anyways. However, there are so many quotable lines.
There are great lines, and
it's ridiculous honestly, how many lines.
There's two. There's two for me. When he asked, what's his name? Stalin asked, "Who would like to hold my clipboard?" And everyone's screaming, "Me!" And he says, "You'd make a fine little helper. What's your name?"
Charles DeMar.
Shut up, geek.
Just the reaction, Charles DeMar. I think I can hear my brother laughing his ass off still to this day.
He says it so earnestly, like innocently.
I could see that. Yeah.
How many times we've said "shut up, geek" is like, I swear, even when Lane was at the chalkboard remembering, the broken condom.
That's one of my couple favorite scenes.
I feel like I've said that even I'm sorry all the time.
Yeah,
just like you get so many little things.
So I remember enjoying it. I just wish I didn't watch it enough to get that in my, my quotable lexicon.
I feel like I've heard Dave go, "Lane, what you doing?" I don't want to keep quoting things, but it's
okay, but that's the reality of this movie.
It really is.
It's a totally quotable movie. Buck up, little camper. We'll beat this together. Come on, that was our whole childhood.
It was great. It was just it was.
There was
very
one
well
line,
written, but
I misremembered. I always thought Ricky said it's not wise to keep Mother waiting, but it's not. He said something else very similar.
Mother will pick us up at the entrance of the school. She'll be very disappointed if we aren't right at the entrance of the school.
Ricky, tell you what. Why don't you wait in the front of the school, and when Mom gets here, you have her honk the old horn. Monique and I would like to continue our conversation.
You should not upset Mother. Ever.
I hate to give credit to Dan Schneider, but he's so good in this
You mean
movie.
more credit? You were raving about him before you hit the record button, Mikey. I totally disagree with all the
good
comments you made about him, and looking up to him, his dating habits, and his
the subtleties of the show, like the scenes, like when they're in the classroom and all the kids are super excited about.
That's one of my favorite scenes. Just like you just don't see anything. It's just they're all so excited, and yeah, that was great. They're all excited, and they all have the different. The girl has a word processor. I forget.
And Lane's has a
and Lane has a piece of paper with a
do homework.
Shaking his jar.
And Charles has a fetus. Charles has a fetus in his.
But did you see what he said?
Maybe that made it rated R. Was
Saying "wake up," like just that little like the subtleties of that, like the scenes are just incredible. You got to watch it, get the little nuances of like, okay, it's smart. The way they shoot it is so intelligently smart, like, but it's so fucking good. It's so good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I appreciate it. What's that?
It is the best 80s comedy in my mind. Like of the
The best 80s comedy?
Of teenage comedies. Like you can say Breakfast Club is up there, 16 Candles. Like there's a lot of good movies. This is right up there with all of them.
Yeah, you know what? It
I'd have
kind
to
of
think.
is. Because it's just it's its own thing. It's not like those John Hughes movies.
What, right. It's not like, I mean, right.
Then they
Hughes is great. Hughes does his own thing, really, which is really, he's in his own corner.
Yeah.
And then you have the, Last American Virgin. Is that,
He's in that.
Did you guys ever see that movie?
I don't think I've ever seen that one, no.
That you definitely haven't, Michael, because it was very R. And the French student, right, Monique.
Okay, that's why I saw
starred in that. And yeah, that movie's wild. It's definitely has.
I was shocked when I learned she wasn't French.
You had Porky's, which, speaking of Porky's,
yep,
the Porky's is the diner, the restaurant owner. His character's great.
So you're Al Myers' kid?
Yes, I am.
You look pretty stupid to me.
Thank you.
Let's see if you have any brains, huh? First, you take the meat. Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pat it in the pig bowl.
Push it in the pig bowl.
No. This is a push. This is a pat. Then you take the pig bowl and you put it up on the tray. Now put on this hat. You see that sign up there? You wear it with pride. Put it on! Out. You gotta have pride and class in this business. You understand this, kid? Now.
What's that?
Those are the keys to this establishment. I want you in here at 6 a.m. Saturday morning. Now, this place has to be swept and mopped up before the breakfast crew get here.
Roger.
All right. Where you going?
I'm gonna go wash my hands. I got a mold and Pat.
You wash your hands on your own time, boy. Now get to work.
Yes, sir. Pat Pig.
What?
Pat Pig.
You don't have time to wash your hands. He said, do that on your own time.
But prior to that, he said that restaurant stood for pride and pride in something. And I'm like, then in the next lines were wash your hands on your own time as he's putting his hands in the meat.
And then, but I mean, think about it. You think, okay, he's got a job. And then it turns into him daydreaming about being a mad scientist who turns a hamburger into a rock and roll guitarist playing Van Halen.
Yep. I agree. It's
bonkers.
Just that's what I said. So unique. But yeah, so I had an issue that they could have. I mean, I don't not like they could have gotten Billy Zubka.
Oh,
but he would have been a great villain, right? He played a villain in a bunch of movies right after what year was Karate Kid? We may do that.
It was 84, I think. Then he was just one of the guys. He was in that. This pretty much same character.
Oh, you're right. But yes, so coming like those other movies where, they just really leaned into the sex, obviously.
Yep. The closest we got with
Not
this was talking about Ricky's testicles, meaning his tentacles.
Yeah.
The international language,
Yeah. And I love that. Yeah. Like I said, I love the Howard Cosell.
Speaking of Karate Kid, he's from Karate Kid 2.
They learned, one of them learned English watching Howard Cosell.
What do they want?
They want a race.
Wayne Meyer, the kid from Green Bay.
See, here's a good example. Two brothers, one speaks no English, the other learned how to speak English from watching the wide world of sports. So you tell me which is better, speaking no English at all or speaking Howard Cosell?
The chances seem slim that this once great has the nerve, the desire to win that he once had.
You must obey the proper speed limits. A car is not a toy.
Obviously admitted defeat.
Right.
Well,
as he's pulling on his his dishwashing gloves and putting his goggles on.
Were they like welding goggles? They look like. That's what he was
Ski
using to
goggles.
ski.
The guy.
So my favorite scene besides that classroom, one of my favorite scenes in the few times I've seen it, was at dinner when he has the lighter fluid and he's dousing himself, and he has and just has a headband.
And he says,
"Great."
The final
and
straw
her.
was, yes, the final. We pulled that many times.
Are you enjoying your stay?
It's no good, Al. She don't speak a word.
Wait a minute. I thought these foreign exchange students had to speak some amount of English to come over here.
Well, as we're discovering around our household, you don't need words to speak the international language. Right, Ricky? The international language. You know. Love. The language of love. I think Monique and our little Ricky have a regular cross-continental romance brewing here.
Him?
Mm-hmm.
And her.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
That makes sense as he's
Yes,
so
right.
he starts putting them on himself. Like, oh my god. That's
What I misremembered, I thought it was more. He was more hellbent on killing himself when he does kind of like half-hearted attempts. You
I
know,
was reading that this kind of is based on Savage Steve Holland's like actual experience. A girl broke up with him. He thought about like hanging something over a pole, and he broke the pole, and his mother screamed at him for breaking the pole, and he just came up with ideas of like how terrible ways to try to kill yourself that won't work, and he just turned.
So Dave, if your fifth fiance breaks up with you, will you thinking about killing yourself?
Who?
And if so, will it involve baby Hitler?
What? You telling me? Listen, the whole Hitler thing I think is misconstrued. I wouldn't want.
He meant Jeff Hitler, a different Hitler.
I don't. Yes. I want to kill him first. That's my first instincts. But I also don't want to kill a baby either.
Nature versus nurture.
Yes.
I don't want to rehash that. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Very debatable issue.
I just wanted to mention.
I could punch Hitler's mom in the stomach, Chris.
When Roy Stalin.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know who said that.
Yeah. The dance, I want to mention
she would have been
Daly there, Dottie from Pee Wee. She was in it for a moment singing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the dance, Amanda Weiss, she's there, showing up with Roy Stalin, Beth, and one of the guys.
Yeah.
It was. I read it in the trivia too, and I had to be on purpose. One of the guys right behind him had a red and green Freddy Krueger sweater, and of course.
Oh yeah. I noticed that too.
1 year before, she was Freddy's first victim.
Oh, okay.
In Nightmare on Elm Street.
So, Dave, did you want to bang out the plot?
No, I think this is all you.
What do you mean?
I would like to see
this movie backwards and forwards.
I could bang out the plot if you want me to. Would you like that?
I see how it goes. All right.
Fucking love that.
Okay, so let's do it.
Essentially, this is how it starts. You wake up in Elaine Meyer's room. You see all the pictures of Beth, and you're like, "Wow, this guy's."
Yeah, but I don't want to interrupt you, but I don't mean like a scene by scene. I just mean like a quick plot description. Like, give me, Elaine Myers is a high school student.
Yeah, Elaine Myers obviously is in love with. He's infatuated with a girl.
How many cameras shot? Yep. What's her name?
That when he goes into his closet, and every hanger has Beth's head on. Okay. Yep. So obviously he's in love with her. She breaks up with him, breaks his heart. He starts to feel like he's better off dead. So he goes on to trying to kill himself multiple times. One by hanging, one by jumping off a bridge.
Lane? What are you doing?
Nothing.
Yes, you are. Oh, buck up, little camper. We'll beat that slope together.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm right behind you, buddy.
The other by lighting himself on fire at the dinner table with all the people to watch.
Jennifer, this is fabulous liqueur. Reminds me of the moonshine Ricky's dead pappy used to make. God bless him.
Mrs. Smith, no, wait! Gee, I'm real sorry your mom blew up, Ricky. Doctor said she'll be okay. I guess she just won't be able to eat any spicy foods for a while.
Along the way, he's got some great friends that try to encourage him and to maybe try to take over that K-12 and make it his own.
Charles, this is very important to me. I mean, really. I mean, if I don't believe in myself, I'm nothing. I'll be as bad as my neighbor, Ricky Smith, who sits around crocheting all day and snorting nasal spray. I gotta do it.
He snorts nasal spray? You know where I can score some?
Are you gonna help me or not?
All right. I'll tell you what to do. Go that way. Really fast. If something gets in your way, turn.
What a coach.
Now, what is that?
What? He tried.
What is the K-12?
It's
What is the
a
K-12?
deal that Stalin was the only one that was able to successfully ski.
Nice. And who is Stalin?
Roy Stalin.
Talking about Joseph Stalin?
Yeah.
No.
if he could go back and talk to Joseph Stalin as a baby.
So
now he's punching Mrs. Stalin in the belly. Go ahead.
Listen, lo and behold, his friend Charles Demar,
Lo
who
and
was trying to have literally street cred by dealing drugs of all different varieties, which I think he settled on nasal spray that was his neighbor's, fixated. What was he fixated
Ricky
on
was
that?
addicted.
Yeah. There you go. So, anyways, his friend is not so good at teaching him, but he finds the girl that is from France to kind of encourage him to really maybe try to better himself. And with her help, he takes on that challenge of skiing the K-12 to win back Beth, and he successfully does it.
He's skiing on one ski.
However, his heart falls with Monique at the end. They go off and have a great life while Beth is there by herself with Ricky, possibly. No, Ricky doesn't go with her. Ricky goes with his
Ricky gets his own girlfriend.
Yeah. So all ends.
Oh yeah, Ricky, which is,
ladies and gentlemen, you just heard Dave talk more than he has ever talked in any episode. This might be word for word the most.
You're gonna
he's
have to
ever
chop
spoken.
that up, edit it. No,
I should
Well
have
done.
edited it to 2
That is-
seconds.
Wait, there's too many quotable. I don't want to stop with the quotes though. You can't.
Yes, I agree.
The fact that Charles Ross says,
Lane, I've been going to this high school for 7.5 years. I'm no dummy.
I'm no dummy.
Like, it's a brag.
Yeah.
I've been
No, that
doing
needs
it
to
so
be.
long.
You need
That
to.
is-
Yeah, you need to add. You need
That-
to give us those great quotes. That is an all timer, and then also obviously the Paperboy.
Johnny.
4 weeks. 20 papers, that's $2 plus tip.
Gee, Johnny, I don't have a dime. Sorry.
Didn't ask for a dime. $2.
Well, it's funny. See, my mom had to leave early to take my brother to school and my dad to work because...
$2. Cash.
See, the problem here is that my little brother this morning got his arm caught in the microwave and my grandmother dropped acid and she freaked out and hijacked a school bus full of penguins. So it's kind of a family crisis. So come back later. Great.
I have to admit, I laughed, even though I knew it was coming. I still laugh when you just see that dummy falling off the mountain.
Daddy, get lost! Get out of here! Make a hike, Brad.
Yes.
I'm always
I
a
did
sucker
too.
for that.
I did
the
too.
echo and the falling, it gets me every time.
Or when Lane's grandmother dropped acid and hijacked a bus full of penguins.
Yes, that was
Oh
good.
yeah, I
also
forgot about that because I still say, just give me the something like take a check because of the date he was forced to go on. The girl didn't want to go. She just said, "This is how much the date would cost."
Oh yeah, that was great.
Write me a check for half of it, $13.
Yeah, that was great. The Porky scene was great. The mother's cooking, it was.
Well, she has some pretty famous French dressing. That's her thing, French dress. I mean, that lives on.
Now, in honor of our special guest, I've created dinner mondiaux. First, we have French fries and French dressing and French Fred. And to drink. Ta-da! Peru.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was good.
And the dad, big guy he's
The
from
dad
MASH,
from
right?
MASH.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just passed away a couple of years ago. He was great too, though. Just like at first, he's his character's involved a little bit more with the putting on the aardvark outfit and the weird neighbor with the curly hair and just all these little things.
Yep.
With his own thing with the paper boy.
And the
Don't
scary
forget,
part-
right? Yep. Go
Well,
ahead.
the scary thing is, this movie is almost 40 years old, right?
It's crazy.
Think about that.
Yeah.
And when you watch this movie, it is legit. Like, it's a time warp. You are like, it's all 80s, and it's just like so like the everything. the scene,
Quintessential.
it just pulls you back to that time. It's just,
Yeah, I don't think now they'd have the teacher ask Lane if he could take Beth out on a date as well.
Yeah.
But even Barney Rubble wanted to take Beth out on a date.
Oh yeah, that was good. I also enjoyed the basketball team dating.
I was thinking, you skate, I skate, we skate. Maybe we could get together and kind of
You're a jerk.
be a skating team. Chris, all I was saying before
Bye-bye.
was really
All right,
nothing
see you
more than
later,
just.
guys.
Basketball team dating the girl. If that was in any other teen movie, she would have been naked under that, that dress that he accidentally tore off.
Yeah, she's. I think I looked it up. She's in her 60s now. It's just that's a weird thing.
all in their 60s.
Yeah.
Fucking, Charles Brown's 70 now. It's like, oh my god. That's for you.
I do have written down Lane saying, I love the scene where Lane says Happy New Year to his brother's bevy of prostitutes.
And the brother who, I said he doesn't say anything. He just does his own thing. He builds a laser. He builds a space shuttle. And I remember being like, wouldn't there be bags in the cereal? It doesn't matter. It's funny him cutting out and leaving it so they could pull the boxes out and cereal gets everywhere.
Well, even
Oh,
the,
yeah.
even the scene when Lane in the garage after this father's, and I think of the Morris house all the time with the freaking broken windows. Your father, you always have.
Oh
broken
yeah, we played hockey. We played. Yeah.
So his father's
Lots
so
of
proud
broken
he
windows.
has the Windex, puts it down, moves away, and then
He was just waiting for that paper boy. But I also, don't forget to mention Lane's. It's just they mentioned it a couple times, but it was just cracked me up. Was Lane's nervous stomach? Remember they mentioned his nervous stomach? He said something about, hey, was he on the Ferris wheel or something?
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a great movie. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Chris, because this movie.
Yes, no, it was definitely a fine movie. It deserved to go into the canon.
It's definitely
of
a much more of a
podcast.
cult classic than One Crazy Summer, but I love that one too.
They're both
Yes,
great.
we may do that one. We may do that sometimes.
Look, that might be a good Martha's Vineyard Nantucket movie to do this summer.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
Silence.
The big Nantucket Regatta.
Yep. Let's
So-
not let's not step too much on.
No, I know. I can't. I'll get caught up in that movie too. Just quoting that one.
So yeah, no, it was. I was gonna only watch it like twice, right? Because I'm a professional, Dave. But I watched it once, and then I was like, I'm gonna watch it again.
Did your kids like it?
They didn't watch it with me. I had to do this.
It'd be interesting to see
when
what
they were
they
in
think
school.
of it. Like, would they think it's
Yeah,
dumb?
it's
Would
tough
they-
getting the kids to watch. I think they would enjoy it. They like smart. They like smart sick humor. Like, so
Sunny.
they probably would enjoy it. Like It's Always Sunny. Yeah.
Okay,
They're
I
not
guys.
smart.
I know I'm
It's
not gonna go for a tangent, but like, I'm so glad I'm watching It's Always Sunny because that
Thank
show
God.
is just fucking bomb. It's so great.
So, are there any parting words before we talk about what's next? Any parting words on Better?
Nope. Great movie.
I will miss
Dave
Lane.
will. Yeah, you'll miss Lane. I'm sure you'll still spend time with him. Dave Dave will be able to request another movie at some point again.
Yeah, I
because
was going to say
this-
a
this
year
one
from
was
now you can pick
successful.
another movie.
I
Yeah.
picked up a bunch of good movies, so shut up.
Well, they were proved. You got to. I mean,
You got one, Mikey. Back to the Future. Everything else,
right.
with me or Chris. Chris or
right.
Adam.
Speaking
Good.
of my favorites.
Next time, we're going to the 90s to 1994 to a movie that David and I saw in the theater. We're going back to Quentin Tarantino. We're doing the almighty Pulp Fiction.
One of my favorite all-time SNL sketches.
Oh my God, Mr. Carter, I thought you was gonna die, I swear.
That's all because of that movie. Absolutely. Fantastic.
I have a few thoughts. Hopefully you can carve out 2 hours next.
I've got all the time in the
Next time.
world. I have a watch. It'll tell me what time it is. It's been up my ass for 2.5 years. You can find us on Twitter at @fine_movies, at Threads and Instagram at Fine Movies, Fine Spirits. And David, what's the website that every episode is on?
I don't know. You tell us. You're good at that.
fansnotexperts.com. I'm not even going to quiz you this time, David, because you looked up my birthday or asked someone last time because you brought it up pretty not nonchalantly at the end. So you definitely were texting either my brother or my wife. You probably.
Or Mikey, I can look you up on Facebook and see your birthday.
Oh, that's right, Mr. F, Mr. Facebook.
You gotta hide that.
All right, David. Christopher, any parting words from you, sir?
Nope. Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
All right, David.
Keep watching Sunny.
Keep watching Sunny, and say goodbye, David.
Bye, fucker.
We talk about great movies while drinking. We talk about great movies while drinking. Yeah, we talk about great movies while drinking. And we feel fine.
You know what I am going to be watching though? I'll be watching this solar eclipse in Maine with my daughter and my grandkids on Monday.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Now, listen.
Yeah.
Are you cool enough to just look up? Because I think you could do it. I think your eyes are strong enough.
I have the glasses, Mikey.
You nerds wear glasses.
Yeah, your eyes are strong enough. Are you kidding? Yesterday, didn't you work on eyes? Wasn't today eye day at the gym? You know what we're doing next movie, right?
No.
It's in my favorite. It's my favorite movie with Jaws and Goodfellas.
What is it?
We already had this conversation. Pulp Fiction. We're doing next.
Oh yeah, that's right. Great movie. I don't know if top for me, but it's great.
We'll talk about it.
It's certainly an enjoyable movie. As dark as it may be. And
Well, I have thoughts.
And erotic at times. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
What? I've never heard anyone.
I don't know what. I haven't heard it described as erotic.
Erotic. Have you seen that
Oh, he
erotic
means-
thriller, Pulp Fiction?
He means the rape scene. I think he means.
Well, we have our ending.
Fans not experts.